Good evening. So I wanted to create this video real quick. First of all, my name is Jimmy Allen. I'm a love and relationship coach. And I'm so honored to be sharing this with you. So I want to talk about men not asking for help. I'm sure the men probably cringing at this, but it's a very important topic because it's a very detriment for men and their ability to love, to cultivate love, to share themselves, to be vulnerable, and to succeed and ultimately attack their purpose. So last night, I got a call from a friend of mine, and I knew he was gonna call me because I saw a recent post on Facebook. He's back in the hospital. His cancer has come back. He has stage 4 cancer and it's spread. So he called me out of the blue. And I picked up because I knew that it was meant for me to talk to him at that moment because I knew I had something to give and offer for him to hopefully help him start his healing. And so one of the things he mentioned to me was that his nurse said to him, "Don't be afraid to push the nurse button when you need help." And for me, that was a red flag because come to find out, he rarely asks for help. There's this belief that men think they have to do it all. We have to tough it out. We have to suck it up. In reality, it's not true. We are, the nature of who we are as human beings, we're co-created. Man and woman needed each other to make a child. And even if you go back to the past of how we grew up, we needed people to grow and nurture. That's why they say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes an even bigger village to nurture a loving relationship and a marriage. And I said to him, well, let's go back to that. How often do you not ask for help? And he paused and he said, I rarely do. And I said, here it is that you are at this stage of your life with this cancer, and now you're forced to be asked to ask for help. And so his nurse came and he had to go, and he called me back and he said, I did something that was very uncomfortable when he called me back. He said, I called my friend and I asked for help. It was very uncomfortable, but I asked for help. But it takes tremendous courage and to drop your ego. It is our ego that keeps us from not asking for help. And, I wanted to share this really quickly. It took me a while to get over that. I remember my first relationship, I didn't ask for help at all. I just toughed it out. I didn't ask for friends for any advice. I just sucked it up, was in sort of a abusive, verbal abusive situation. And, thank God we broke up. I didn't shed a tear. And as I started to do more work on myself, I realized that, I'm suppressing this part of me that as long as I'm holding on to this resentment to my next relationship, no one has access to me. People say, well, I'll open up when the person shows up. In actuality, that's not true. It comes from you first. If you want love, you have to give love. If you want vulnerability, you have to give vulnerability. If you want support, you have to ask for support. And it's very vital that we as men, or as, these entrepreneurs, or even women too, that we break down those barriers. Actually, asking for help is a sign of strength. I can't tell you how much I have grown by asking for help. I wouldn't be the coach that I am today if I would not ask for help, because I went out and I sought out the best coaches who was vigorous, who was taking risks with their life. And I was like, what are you doing? And majority over and over and over again. And this coach, he said to me, you know how I'm so effective? He said, because I'm willing to have tough conversations. I'm willing to own up to my shit, he said, because I know I could be an asshole. And I'm willing to put myself on the line for the people I love and own up to my shit. And I remember I had to get off the phone with him. I called one of my best friends, and in the most nervous, nerve-wracking state, I said to him, I said, I have something to say to you. I don't feel safe sharing myself with you. And he said to me, I don't feel safe sharing myself with you. And it took so much courage. And although we didn't fight, we didn't argue, but it was the truth, the underlying thing that was hindering our relationship. And it took us about a year to really get back into this new space of our relationship. And now, because we were able to tackle that difficult thing that was keeping us from being our full selves with each other, our relationship changed. And now we have a deeper connection with ourselves because I was willing to put myself and my relationship with him on the line for a better relationship, better love, leadership. And now I have this support that I've always wanted from this friend because I was willing to lose this friend for the relationship that I wanted. So, this is a message for all the men or anyone who's listening to this. Be willing to put yourself on the line. Be willing to challenge the beliefs that are holding you back from getting what you want, because you deserve the love that you're calling in. You deserve to break down those barriers. You deserve to put the past behind you. You deserve to be whole and complete and break those barriers.